Among the many legends that exist around the world, one stands out in Brazilian folklore, the legend of Saci-Pererê. This iconic figure is always described as a mischievous one-legged youth who moves with incredible agility and cunning. He is depicted wearing a red cap, a magical artifact that grants him powers such as the ability to disappear and transform into whirlwinds of wind. Many people have tried to capture this trickster but have never succeeded. But why do they want to catch him so badly? That is the mystery we are going to unravel today. They say that when the wind howls through the trees and a whirlwind lifts dust along the path, it is a sign that Saci-Pererê is nearby. His presence feels almost tangible, announced by the unsettling sound of dry leaves rustling and branches whispering forgotten secrets. But who is this mischievous one-legged creature that moves with the lightness of a ghost and the cunning of someone who knows every corner of the forest? The story of Saci-Pererê is much older and more complex than one might imagine. His origin is rooted in a distant past, shrouded in mystery and passed down through generations, carrying fragments of ancient cultures that helped shape this enigmatic and fascinating legend. The oldest version of the Saci legend dates back to the indigenous peoples of Brazil, who inhabited the land long before the arrival of European colonizers. To these tribes, Saci was not merely a prankster of the woods, but a magical entity, an ancestral forest spirit that guarded nature's deepest secrets. According to ancient indigenous accounts, he did not appear by chance, but was born from a bamboo shoot, breaking through its shell on full moon nights. This mystical birth carried symbolism far beyond imagination. From the very first moment, Saci revealed his wild, agile, and untamed essence, as if he were part of the very spirit of the jungle. He was not seen as a malicious figure, but as a guardian of the forest, one who protected animals and possessed deep knowledge of medicinal herbs that could heal both body and soul. In indigenous stories, Saci played a crucial role in the wisdom of the pages, the spiritual leaders of the tribes. It was he who revealed the mysteries of plants, roots, and flowers, teaching which had the power to heal or ward off evil spirits. However, his playful nature never completely faded. He delighted in playing subtle tricks, hiding objects, confusing hunters, and making paths seem endless to those who disrespected the forest. But for those who understood his role and honored the laws of nature, Saci was a powerful ally, a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds, capable of guiding and protecting. Over time, with the arrival of enslaved Africans in Brazil, the figure of Saci began to transform. Influences from African beliefs merged with indigenous traditions, altering his image and expanding his abilities. He came to be seen as a trickster spirit, a playful entity that enjoyed hiding objects, startling people, and causing confusion. In this more developed version, his iconic red cap emerged, a magical object that granted him extraordinary powers, such as the ability to disappear and transform into whirlwinds of wind. In some African beliefs, there were similar entities, guardians of pathways, who tested travelers' courage and played with human destiny. The fusion of these beliefs contributed to making the legend of Saci even more intriguing. But the transformation of the legend did not stop there. With the arrival of European colonizers and the spread of Christianity, the figure of Saci was reinterpreted once again. For many peasants and missionaries of the time, his pranks began to be viewed with suspicion, and soon he became associated with something darker. Stories emerged claiming that his tricks were not just harmless mischief, but rather the work of the devil. People began to say that Saci roamed around houses at night, blew out campfires, set horses loose from their pens, and even soured cows' milk. This demonized perception instilled fear in some communities, and popular belief began to claim that capturing Saci could bring luck or riches, provided one could steal his magical cap. The legend also evolved differently depending on the region of Brazil. In some parts of the country, Saci became feared as a malicious being who delighted in tormenting farm workers. In others, he was seen merely as a mischievous trickster, but ultimately harmless. The methods for capturing him also varied. Some believed that throwing a sieve over a whirlwind could trap him, while others said that simply taking his cap would strip him of his powers. However, few ever succeeded in this feat, as Saci, with his supernatural agility, would vanish before anyone could get close. Despite all these changes over the centuries, Saci's essence remained intact. He continued to be a symbol of cleverness and freedom, a character who escapes attempts at imprisonment, laughs at conventions, and challenges those who think they are too smart. His presence endured across generations, passed down from grandparents to grandchildren, from stories told by lamplight to books, television programs, and animated shows. Saci became one of the most iconic characters in Brazilian folklore, representing not only mischief and playfulness, but also resilience, the strength of one who refuses to be tamed, just like Brazilian culture itself, rich in blends, adaptations, and rebirths. Moreover, the legend of Saci carries a powerful social symbolism. For many, he represents the cultural resistance of indigenous and African peoples, who, despite attempts at erasure, remain alive in Brazil's national identity. Saci serves as a reminder that popular culture is dynamic, capable of absorbing influences without losing its roots. He also symbolizes the rebellious spirit, creativity and resilience of a people who have always found ways to laugh at hardships and turn challenges into fantastic stories. Nowadays, Saci is still alive, whether in folklore festivals, children's books, or in the memories of those who grew up listening to his stories. His legacy endures through time, and his figure still has the power to spark imagination and curiosity in those who hear about his mischief. In some regions, there is even a Saci Day, celebrated as a way to honor national folklore in the face of foreign influences. This shows that despite all the transformations he has undergone, Saci remains an essential character in Brazilian culture. So, the next time a whirlwind suddenly appears in your path, pay attention. Maybe it's not just the wind. Maybe it's a Saci watching you, laughing quietly, ready to play another trick. If that's the case, don't try to catch him. He will always find a way to escape. After all, Saci cannot be captured so easily. He is the free spirit of the forest, the cunning trickster who deceives the unwary, the mysterious laughter that echoes through the woods, an eternal character in Brazilian imagination. So, what did you think of this video? Share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. Oh, and don't leave just yet. The next video is already on your screen. Click and keep watching. See you there.